Hello everybody, welcome to the 1968 Formula World Cup. So in the previous season, the 1967 season, we've crowned our first ever individual Mexican Driver Champion with Pedro Rodriguez. And the United Kingdom have won the Nations competition 9 times now. Will anyone be able to stop it from making it a 10th victory? Without further ado, let's meet this season's lineup. And here are our first 4 teams of the season. We've got the United Kingdom, once again the number 1 team, with Graham Hill, Jackie Stewart, John Surtees and Jim Clark to represent the team. The number 2 team being the United States. They've got a strong lineup with Dan Gurney, Bobby Unser, Marion Andretti and Al Unser. Canada are team number 3 with John Cannon, George Fisher, Bill Bragg and Al Pease, with Italy completing the first 4 teams with Lodovico Scarfiotti, Ignacio Giunti, Nani and Carlo Fassetti. Moving on down the board, we've got Belgium as team number 5 with Jackie X, Lucien Bianchi, Jean-Pierre Gabon and Roger van der Schreek. Switzerland are team number 6. We've got a pretty decent lineup with Joe Siffer, Rico, Dieter and Clay Regazzoni. Australia make up team number 7, and West Germany complete the top 8 teams going into this season. Moving on further down, team number 9 is France, with Jean-Pierre Beltois, Joey Silver-Gavin, Henry Pascalo and Joe Schleser. New Zealand are team number 10, followed by Austria team number 11, and Sweden completing the top 12 teams. Last but not least, the Netherlands are team number 13, showing that we have 13 teams competing in the 1968 Formula World Cup. So that is our lineup. Let's now move over to the group draws. So here are our 4 groups. Looking at Group A, we've got a very strong competitive lineup. We've got Jim Clark, Dan Gurney, Bill Bragg, Lodovico Scarfiotti, Lucien Bianchi and Bruce McLaren in Group A. So they should be a very, very competitive lineup. With Group B, we've got Graham Hill, Marion Andretti, John Cannon, we've got Nani, Claire Gazzoni and Chris Amon and Joe Bonnier, so they should be a very, very fearsome group to watch out for in Group B. Group C, we've got Jackie Stewart, Al Unser, Al Pease, Jean-Pierre Gabon, Dieter Spoor, Jack Brabham, Graham Lawrence and Joachim Rindt, so they're the ones to definitely watch out for in Group C. Group D, we've got John Surtees, Bobby Unser, Jackie X, Joe Siffert, Paul Hawkins, Denny Hume and Gunther Uber, so they're definitely the ones to watch out for in Group D. So that's our 4 groups. Without further ado, let's kick things off with Group A. And here we go, it's the first group for the 1968 Formula World Cup, and without further ado, let's get right into the first race of the first group, which is going to be at South Africa at Killarney, with Joe Schleser taking the win for France, Dan Gurney is 7th for the United States, Rico 3rd for Switzerland, Pico Troberg is 4th for Sweden, and Frank Garner rounding off your top 5 for Australia. And then going over to race number 2, the win going to Rico Switzerland at the 24 Hours of Daytona. Jim Clark is 2nd with Dan Gurney in 3rd, Frank Garner is 4th, and Lodovico Scarfiotti of Italy rounds off your top 5. And then going to race number 3, the 12-hour Sebring, Dan Gurney takes away for the United States, Joe Nearpash is 7th for West Germany, Lodovico Scarfiotti 3rd for Italy, Rico 4th for Switzerland, and Lucien Bianchi rounding off your top 5 for Belgium. And to complete the first quarter of Group A, at the 1,000 close of Monza, Ben Pon wins for the Netherlands, Frank Garner is in 2nd, Rico is in 3rd, Bill Bragg is 4th, and Pico Troberg rounds off your top 5 for Sweden. So after 4 races, leading the way is Rico of Switzerland with 70 points, Dan Gurney is 2nd with 64, Frank Garner is 3rd with 53 points, 4th is Ben Pon with 48 points, which is one more than Joe Schleser of France that rounds off the top 5 with 47 points. Bottom of the board is Bruce McLaren of New Zealand with 21 points. Going over to race number 5, the win going to Bruce McLaren at the Targa Florio, with Rui Lin 2nd for Austria, Joe Nearpash is 3rd for West Germany, Pico Troberg 4th for Sweden, and Bill Bragg rounds off the top 5 for Canada. Where did Rico finish? Rico finished in 11th. Race number 6, at the 1,000 kilometers of the Nürburgring, Rico wins for Switzerland, Bill Bragg is 2nd for Canada, Jim Clark is 3rd, Joe Schleser 4th, and Lodovico Scarfiotti rounds off the top 5 for Italy. Race number 7, at Monaco, Lodovico Scarfiotti takes the win for Italy, Bruce McLaren is in 2nd, Dan Gurney takes 3rd, Bill Bragg is 4th, and Pico Troberg rounds off the top 5 for Sweden, as Rico finishes the race in 9th place. And to complete the first half of Group A, at the 1,000 kilometers of the Spa-Francorchamps, Jim Clark takes the win. Dan Gurney is in second, Lavika Scarfiotti is third, Pico Troberg fourth for Sweden, and Rudy Linz rattles the top 5 for Austria as Rico finished the race in 8th place. So halfway into Group A, Rico and Dan Gurney tie at the top with 115 points each. Then we have a tie for third with Lavika Scarfiotti of Italy and Jim Clark of the United Kingdom with 99 points each, with Bel Brack running up the top 5 for Canada with 81 points. Lucien Bianchi of Belgium is now bottom of the board with 53 points. Now going on to race number 9. At the Indy 500, Dan Gurney takes the win with Pico Troberg third for Sweden, Frank Gardner third for Australia, Rico is fourth for Switzerland, and Lavika Scarfiotti rounding up the top 5 for Italy. And going to race number 10, at the Netherlands, it's Dan Gurney takes the win with Bel Brack in second, Joe Schleser is third for France, Joe Knierpach is fourth for West Germany, and Ben Palm rounds off the top 5 for the Netherlands as Rico finished the race in 11th place. Race number 11. At Pikes Peak, Rico takes the win for Switzerland, Lavika Scarfiotti is third for Italy, Frank Gardner is third for Australia, Joe Knierpach is fourth for West Germany, and Ben Palm rounds off the top 5 for the Netherlands as Dan Gurney finished the race in 13th place. And to complete the third quarter of Group A, in France at the Rouen-Lille-Isère, it's Bruce McLaren that wins for New Zealand, Joe Schleser is second for France, Pico Troberg is third for Sweden, Rudy Linz fourth for Austria, and Ben Palm rounds off the top 5 for the Netherlands as Rico finished in 9th and Dan Gurney finished in 8th. With 4 races left to go, leading the way is Dan Gurney with 176 points, Rico is second with 165 points, Lavika Scarfiotti is third with 143 points. Then we have a 3-way tie for 4th, Pico Troberg Sweden, Joe Schleser France, and Frank Gardner Australia, all sharing 130 points each. As bottom of the board, it's Lucien Bianchi of Belgium with 74 points. Going to race 13, at the 6 hours at Watkins Glen, Lavika Scarfiotti wins for Italy, Bruce McLaren is second, Dan Gurney third for the United States, Pico Troberg fourth for Sweden, and Bel Brack rounds off your top 5. And then going to race number 14, at the United Kingdom Brands Hatch, Dan Gurney takes another victory, Joe Knierpach is second for West Germany, Joe Schleser is third for France, Ben Palm fourth for the Netherlands, and Bruce McLaren rounding off your top 5. And going to the penultimate race, race 15, we go to West Germany, the Nürburgring, and it's another victory for Dan Gurney. Bruce McLaren second for New Zealand, Lucien Bianchi third for Belgium, Ben Palm is fourth for the Netherlands, and Bel Brack rounds off the top 5 for Canada. And for the 16th and final round, it's Monza. Lavika Scarfiotti wins his whole race, Pico Troberg third for Sweden, Jim Clark is third for the United Kingdom, Ben Palm fourth for the Netherlands, and Bel Brack rounds up the top 5 for Canada as Dan Gurney finished the race in 6th place. And the winner of Group A, it is Dan Gurney with 252 points. Lavika Scarfiotti of Italy is second with 210 points. Third is Rico of Switzerland with 188 points. Bruce McLaren fourth for New Zealand with 184 points. Pico Troberg fifth for Sweden with 171 points. Then tying for 6th is Joe Schleser and Jim Clark of France and the United Kingdom with 164 points each. Bel Brack is 8th for Canada with 159 points. 9th is Frank Gardner of Australia with 157 points. 10th is Ben Palm for the Netherlands with 154 points. Joe Knierpach is 11th for West Germany with 153 points. Rudy Linz is 12th for Austria with 125 points. And bottom of the board is Lucien Bianchi of Belgium with 111 points. So with the first group out of the way, let's take a look at the standings before we head over to Group B. And with the first group out of the way, looking at the standings, Dan Gurney gets the United States off to a pretty decent start with 252 points, with Lavika Scarfiotti taking second and Rico completing the top 3. A disastrous start for the defending champions of the United Kingdom, down in joint 6 with France. With 3 groups left to go, they could definitely bounce back, but will they be able to pull it off? Without further ado, let's move swiftly over to Group B. And here we go, we move swiftly over to Group B of the 1968 Formula 1 Cup, and without further ado, let's get to the first race at Killarney in South Africa. The win going to Rolf Stoelin of West Germany, Chris Amon is 6th for New Zealand, Carl van Wendt is 3rd for Austria, Graham Hill takes 4th, and Roger van der Schrink rounds off the top 5 for Belgium. Going to race number 2, At the 24 Hours Daytona, it's Graham Hill that takes the win with Carl van Vent second for Austria. Roger van der Schrink is third for Belgium. Johnny Servo-Gavin is fourth for France. And Joe Bonnier rounds up the top 5 for Sweden. And going to race number 3, we head to the 12 Hour Sebring, and it's another win for Graham Hill with Clay Regazzoni second for Switzerland. Chris Awon is third for New Zealand. John Cannon fourth for Canada. And Rolf Stolden rounds off the top 5 for West Germany. And to complete the first quarter of Group B, we go over to the 1,000 kilometers of Monza, and it's another victory for Graham Hill. Chris Awon is in second. Rob Slotmaker is third for the Netherlands. Johnny Servo-Gavin is fourth for France. And Brian Muir rounds up the top 5 for Australia. So 4 races down, and leading the way it is Graham Hill with 88 points, with Chris Amon second with 63 points. Third is Rolf Stolden with 49 points. Carl van Vent is fourth with 48 points. And to wrap the top 5 is Clay Regazzoni of Switzerland with 43 points. And at the bottom of the board is currently Mario Andretti of the United States with 19 points. Going to race number 5, we go to the Targa Florio, and Mario Andretti takes the win for the United States. Graham Hill is in second. John Cannon is third for Canada. Brian Muir fourth for Australia. And Joe Bonnier rounds off your top 5. And going over to race number 6, we head to the 1,000 kilometers of the Nürburgring, and it's another victory for Graham Hill. Roger van der Schrink is second for Belgium. Rolf Stolden is third for West Germany. Fourth is Joe Bonnier of Sweden. And Rob Slotmaker rounds off your top 5. And going to race number 7, we go to Monaco. Mario Andretti takes the win for the United States. Joe Bonnier is in second. Graham Hill takes third. Brian Muir is fourth. And John Cannon rounds off your top 5. And to complete the first half of Group B, we go to the 1,000 kilometers of Spa-Francorchamps, and it's Chris Amon that takes the win for New Zealand. Mario Andretti is in second. Brian Muir takes third. Roger van der Schrink is fourth for Belgium. And Carl van Vent rounds out the top 5 for Austria, as Graham Hill finished the race in 8th place. So we're halfway into Group B. Leading the way, it is still Graham Hill with 157 points. Chris Amon is second with 111 points for New Zealand. Third is Mario Andretti with 97 points. Joe Bonnier takes fourth for Sweden with 88 points. And to wrap the top 5 is Rolf Stolden of West Germany with 86 points. And at the bottom of the board currently is Nani of Italy with 50 points. And race number 9, we head to the Indy 500, and it's yet another victory for Graham Hill. John Cannon is third for Canada. Clay Regazzoni is third for Switzerland. Johnny Servo-Gavin is fourth for France. And Nani rounds off the top 5 for Italy. And going to race number 10, we go to the Netherlands of Sanford, and Graham Hill takes yet another win. It's Johnny Servo-Gavin second for France. Third is Rolf Stolden of West Germany. Joe Bonnier fourth for Sweden. And Rob Slotmaker rounds off the top 5 for the Netherlands. Race number 11, we go to Pikes Peak. Rob Slotmaker takes the win for the Netherlands. Mario Andretti second for the United States. Brian Muir is third for Australia. Joe Bonnier fourth for Sweden. And Nani rounds off the top 5 for Italy, as Graham Hill finished the race in 9th place. And to play the third quarter of Group B, we go to France at Rouen-le-Serre. It's Johnny Servo-Gavin in his home race that takes the win. Joe Bonnier is second for Sweden. Carl van Vent is third for Austria. Rolf Stolden fourth for West Germany. And Chris Amon rounds up the top 5 as Graham Hill finished the race in 6th place. With 4 races left to go, leading the way, it is still Graham Hill with 224 points. Chris Amon is second with 142 points. Joe Bonnier is third with 139 points. Fourth is Mario Andretti with 132 points. And to wrap the top 5 is Rolf Stolden of West Germany with 130 points. And bottom of the board currently is Nani of Italy with 82 points. And now going to race number 13, we go to the 6 Hours at Watkins Glen, and Johnny Servo-Gavin takes the win for France. Rob Slotmaker is third for the Netherlands. Roger van der Schrink is third for Belgium. Nani fourth for Italy. And Brian Muir rounds up the top 5 for Australia, as Graham Hill finished in last place in 13th. Race number 14, we go to the United Kingdom Brands Hatch. Chris Amon wins for New Zealand. Clay Regazzoni is second for Switzerland. Nani third for Italy. Roger van der Schrink is fourth for Belgium. And Rob Slotmaker rounds up the top 5 for the Netherlands, as Graham Hill finished the race in 10th place. Race number 15, we go to the Nürburgring in West Germany, and Graham Hill takes the win, with Brian Muir second for Australia. Joe Bonnier third for Sweden. Carl van Vent is fourth for Austria. And Chris Amon rounds up the top 5 for New Zealand. And going to the 16th and final race of Group B, we go to Monza in Italy, and Graham Hill takes yet another victory. John Cannon third for Canada, Joe Bonnier third for Sweden, joining Servo Gavin fourth for France, and Nani rounds off the top 5. And the winner of Group B, it is Graham Hill with 283 points, Chris Aon second for New Zealand with 189 points, third is Joe Bonnier Sweden with 181 points, Joy Sarah Gavin also has 181 points for France. Brian Muir is 5th for Australia with 163 points. 6th is Ross Sullivan of West Germany with 160 points. Rob Slotmaker takes 7th for the Netherlands with 158 points. Then tying for 8th is Mario Andretti and Carl van Vent of the United States and Austria with 157 points each. Then it's John Cannon in 10th for Canada with 152 points. Tying for 11th is Clay Regazzoni and Roger van der Schenk of Switzerland and Belgium with 143 points each. And bottom of Group B, it is Nani of Italy with 125 points. So with Group B out the way, with 2 groups left to go, let's take a look at the standings for the individual and the nations tables before we head over to Group C. With Group B out of the way, Graham Hill takes the lead in the individual championship and gets the United Kingdom on top in the nations competition, with Dan Gary holding on to second for the United States as they hold on to second in the nations table. A very good performance from the New Zealanders, both drivers in the top 6, putting the New Zealand in 3rd place. With 2 groups left to go, how will things stack up? Without further ado, let's make our way over to Group C. And here we go, it's Group C of the 1968 Formula 1 World Cup. And without further ado, let's get into the first race of Group C, going to South Africa at Killarney. The win going to Henry Pescarolo of France, with Joachim Rindt second for Austria, Dieter Spori third for Switzerland, 4th is Carl Passetti of Italy, and Jackie Stewart rounds up the top 5 for the United Kingdom. And going to race number 2, we head over to the 24 Hours of Daytona as Guy van Lennep takes the win for the Netherlands, Carl Passetti second for Italy, Alpi third for Canada, 4th is Alonso of the United States, and Dieter Spori rounds up the top 5 for Switzerland. And going to race number 3, we go to the 12 Hour Sebring, and Guy van Lennep wins for the Netherlands, Jackie Stewart second for the United Kingdom, Jack Brabham is 3rd, Carl Aarons Jr. is 4th, and Alonso rounds off your top 5. And to complete the first quarter of Group C, we go to the 1,000 kilometers of Monza, Joker wins for Austria, Kurt Aarons Jr. is 2nd for West Germany, Alonso is 3rd for the United States, Guy van Lennep is 4th for the Netherlands, and Jack Brabham rounds off your top 5. So 4 races down, leading the way early on is Guy van Lennep of the Netherlands with 71 points, Joker Rindt is 2nd with 56 points, then we have a tie for 3rd between Kurt Aarons Jr. and Jackie Stewart of West Germany and the United Kingdom with 48 points each, and to wrap the top 5 is Alonso with 46 points. And at the bottom of the board is currently Sten Axelsson of Sweden with 22 points. And now going over to race number 5, we head to Targa Florio and Jackie Stewart wins for the United Kingdom, Graham Lawrence is 2nd for New Zealand, Carl Passetti 3rd for Italy, Jack Brabham is 4th for Australia, and Dieter Spori rounds the top 5 for Switzerland. Meanwhile, Guy van Lennep finished the race in 10th place for the Netherlands. Going to race number 6, we go to the 1,000 kilometers of the Nürburgring. Jackie Stewart takes another victory, Jack Brabham takes 2nd for Australia, Henry Pescarolo is 3rd for France, 4th is Alonso, and Graham Lawrence rounds off the top 5 for New Zealand. Meanwhile, Guy van Lennep finishes the race down in 13th place. Race number 7, we go to Monaco, and Dieter Spori wins for Switzerland, Guy van Lennep is 2nd for the Netherlands, Jackie Stewart takes 3rd for the United Kingdom, 4th is Jean-Pierre Gabon of Belgium, and Jack Brabham rounds up the top 5 for Australia. And to complete the first half of Group C, we go to the 1,000 kilometers of Spa-Francorchamps. Sten Axelsson takes the win for Sweden, Kurt Aarons Jr. is 2nd for West Germany, Carl Passetti 3rd for Italy, 4th is Henry Pescarolo of France, and Jean-Pierre Gabon rounds up the top 5 for Belgium, and Guy van Lennep finished the race in 13th position. So we're halfway to Group C, leading the way now is Jackie Stewart with 122 points, Guy van Lennep is 2nd with 103 points, Dieter Spori is 3rd for Switzerland with 98 points, 4th is Kurt Aarons Jr. of West Germany with 90 points, and to wrap the top 5 is Carl Passetti of Italy with 88 points. And at the bottom of the board currently is Alpes of Canada with 56 points. Moving to race number 9, at the Indy 500, and Sten Axelsson takes another victory for Sweden. Joker Rindt is 2nd for Austria, Kurt Ahrens Jr. is third for West Germany, Jackie Stewart is fourth for the United Kingdom, and Dieter Spory rounds off the top 5 for Switzerland. Going to race number 10, we head to the Netherlands at Zandvoort, and Joker Rindt wins for Austria, Henry Pescarolo is second for France, Alonso is third for the United States, Sten Axelsen is fourth for Sweden, and Jean-Pierre Gabin finishes the race in the top 5 for Belgium, as Jackie Stewart finished the race in 13th place. Race number 11, we go to Pikes Peak, and Al Unser wins for the United States, Joker Rindt is second for Austria, Carl Fassetti third for Italy, Gilles Van Lep is fourth for the Netherlands, and Al Pease rounds out the top 5 for Canada, as Jackie Stewart finished the race in 7th place. And to complete the third quarter of Group C, we head to France at Rouen-le-Third, and Dieter Spory wins for Switzerland, Joker Rindt is second for Austria, Jean-Pierre Gabin is third for Belgium, Gilles Van Lep is fourth for the Netherlands, and Carl Fassetti rounds out the top 5 for Italy, as Jackie Stewart finished the race in 12th place. So with 4 races left to go, leading the way it is Joker Rindt of Austria with 168 points, Dieter Spory is second with 152 points, Jackie Stewart is dropped down to third with 151 points, fourth is Gilles Van Lep of the Netherlands with 143 points, and round up the top 5 is Alonso of the United States with 132 points, as Al Pease is bottom of the board for Canada with 81 points. Moving over to race number 13, we go to 6 hours at Watkins Glen, and Jack Brabham wins for Australia, Henry Pescarolo is second for France, Jean-Pierre Gabin is third for Belgium, Graham Lawrence is fourth for New Zealand, and Sten Axelsen rounds the top 5 for Sweden, as Joker Rindt finished the race in 12th place. Race number 14, we go to the United Kingdom Brands Hatch, Graham Lawrence wins for New Zealand, Dieter Spory is second for Switzerland, Henry Pescarolo is third for France, fourth is Al Pease for Canada, and Joker Rindt rounds out the top 5 for Austria. And going to race number 15, we head to West Germany at the Nürburgring. Gilles Van Lep wins for the Netherlands, Al Pease second for Canada, Dieter Spory is third for Switzerland, fourth is Jackie Stewart of the United Kingdom, and Sten Axelsen rounds out the top 5 for Sweden, as Joker Rindt finished the race in 13th place. And for the final race of Group C, we go to Italy at Monza, and Joker Rindt wins the race with Alonso second for the United States, Dieter Spory is third for Switzerland, Gilles Van Lep is fourth for the Netherlands, and Graham Lawrence rounds in the top 5 for New Zealand. And the winner of Group C, it is Joker Rindt with 211 points, Dieter Spory is second for Switzerland with 210 points, Gilles Van Lep is third for the Netherlands with 198 points, Jackie Stewart fourth for the United Kingdom with 191 points, fifth is Henry Pescarolo of France with 176 points, Al Unser takes 6th for the United States with 170 points, Jack Brown 7th for Australia with 162 points, Kurt Ahrens Jr. is 8th for West Germany with 156 points, Graham Lawrence 9th for New Zealand with 154 points, Carl Fassetti 10th for Italy with 151 points, then Sten Axelsen is 11th for Sweden with 149 points, Jean-Pierre Gabin is 12th for Belgium with 141 points, and bottom of Group C is Al Pease of Canada with 123 points. So with just one more group left to go, let's take a look at the standings and see where everyone is before we head over to Group D. 3 groups down, only 1 left to go. The top 2 remain the same, with Graham Hill still on top with Dan Gurley in second. Joker Rindt for Austria gets into 3rd position with 211 points, 1 more than joint 4th with Lavicus Garfiotti, and Dieter Spory, who gets Switzerland into 3rd place in the nations competition. The United Kingdom and the United States still hold to the top 2 spots, but with 1 group left to go, how will that change before we head over to the 1968 World Cup final? Well, without further ado, let's head over to Group D. And here we go, it's the 4th and final group of the Formula World Cup, and without further ado, let's get to the first race of this group. Going to Colombia in South Africa, the win going to Paul Hawkins of Australia, Joe Siffer is 7th for Switzerland, De Hoom is 3rd for New Zealand, 4th is Jackie X of Belgium, and Hubert Hain rounds the top 5 for West Germany. And going to race number 2, we head to the 24 Hours of Daytona. Jackie X takes the win for Belgium, Joe Siffer is 7th for Switzerland, John Surtees is 3rd for the United Kingdom, George Fescher is 4th for Canada, and Ulf Narinder rounds the top 5 for Sweden. Race number 3, we go to the 12 Hours Sebring. Joe Siffer wins for Switzerland, Jackie X is 2nd, Jean-Pierre Beltois is 3rd for France, Toon Hesman is 4th for the Netherlands, and Bobby Unser rounds off the top 5 for the United States. And to complete the first quarter Group D, we go to the one side of the clubs at Monza, and Ignacio Gunti wins for Italy, Paul Hawkins is second, Tone Hesmans is third, fourth is Bobby Unser, and George Fescher rounds off the top 5 for Canada. So after 4 races, leading the way is Joe Siffert of Switzerland with 72 points, Jackie X is second with 63 points, third is Paul Hawkins with 54 points, Tone Hesmans is fourth with 47 points, and to round the top 5 is Ignacio Gunti with 43 points, and at the bottom of the board is currently Jean-Pierre Beltois of France with 27 points. Going to race number 5, we head to Targa Florio, and Joe Siffert picks up another victory. George Fescher is second for Canada, Huberhain is third, fourth is Gunther Huber of Austria, and John Surtees rounds off the top 5 for the United Kingdom. Going to race number 6, we head to the one side of the Nürburgring, and Denny Hulme wins for New Zealand, Huberhain is second for West Germany, Jean-Pierre Beltois is third for France, Ignacio Gunti is fourth, and Bobby Unser rounds off the top 5 as Joe Siffert finished the race in 10th place. Race number 7, we go to Monaco, and Huberhain wins for West Germany, George Fescher is second for Canada, Ignacio Gunti is third for Italy, fourth is Jackie X, and Jean-Pierre Beltois rounds the top 5 for France, as Joe Siffert finished the race in 8th place. And to complete the first half of Group D, we go to the one side of the clubs of Spa-Francorchamps. Danny Hulme takes another win for New Zealand, Ignacio Gunti is second for Italy, Gunther Huber is third for Austria, Joe Siffert is fourth for Switzerland, and Huberhain runs the top 5 for West Germany. And halfway into Group D, leading the way in the standings is still Joe Siffert with 124 points. Then we have a tie for second between Huberhain and Jackie X of West Germany and Belgium with 104 points each. Denny Hulme is fourth for New Zealand with 101 points, and to round the top 5 is Ignacio Gunti of Italy with 96 points, and at the bottom of the board is currently Ulf Norinda of Sweden with 59 points. Going to race number 9, we head to the Indy 500, and another victory goes to Joe Siffert of Switzerland, Jackie X is third for Belgium, John Surrey is third for the United Kingdom, Tone Hesmans is fourth for the Netherlands, and George Fescher rounds off the top 5 for Canada. And then going to race number 10, we go to the Netherlands at Zandvoort, and Joe Siffert wins again for Switzerland, Jean-Pierre Beltois third for France, John Surrey third for the United Kingdom, fourth is Huberhain of West Germany, and Jackie X rounds off the top 5 for Belgium. Going to race number 11, we go to Pikes Peak, and yet another victory goes to Joe Siffert of Switzerland, Jean-Pierre Beltois second for France, Denny Hulme is third for New Zealand, fourth is John Surrey for the United Kingdom, and Bobby Unser rounds off the top 5 for the United States. And to complete the third quarter of Group D, we go to France at Rouen third, and Joe Siffert wins yet again. Huberhain second for West Germany, Denny Hulme is third for the New Zealand, John Surrey is fourth for the United Kingdom, and Paul Hawkins rounds off the top 5 for Australia. With 4 races left to go, leading the way is still Joe Siffert with 224 points, Huberhain second for West Germany with 154 points, Denny Hulme third for New Zealand with 146 points, Jackie X fourth for Belgium with 143 points, and to round the top 5 is John Surrey of the United Kingdom with 127 points, and bottom of the board is Ulf Norinda of Sweden with 82 points. Going to race number 13, we go to 6 hours of Watkins Glen. Joe Siffert once again taking the victory. George Fescher is second for Canada, Jean-Pierre Beltois third for France, fourth is Huberhain of West Germany, and John Surtees rounds off the top 5 for the United Kingdom. Going to race number 14, we go to the United Kingdom at Brands Hatch, and Denny Hulme takes the win for New Zealand. Joe Siffert is second for Switzerland, Bobby Unser is third for the United States, fourth is John Surrey for the United Kingdom, and Gunther Huber rounds off the top 5 for Austria. Race number 15, we go to West Germany at Nürburgring. Denny Hulme takes another victory, Joe Siffert is second for Switzerland, Paul Hawkins third for Australia, fourth is Ulf Norinda of Sweden, and Bobby Unser rounds off the top 5 for the United States. And for the 16th and final race of Group D, we go to Monza. Bobby Unser takes the win for the United States, Paul Hawkins is second for Australia, Gunther Huber is third for Austria, Jean-Pierre Beltois fourth for France, and Denny Hulme runs the top 5 for New Zealand as Joe Siffert finished the race in 6th place. And the winner of Group D, it is Joe Siffert with 299 points, Denny Hulme is second for New Zealand with 110 points, Huberhain is third for West Germany with 182 points, fourth is Jackie X of Belgium with 166 points, John 30th is 5th for the United Kingdom with 163 points. George Fisher takes 6th for Canada with 162 points. Paul Hawkins 7th for Australia with 159 points. Jean-Pierre Berthoud is 8th for France with 158 points. 9th is Bobby Unser of the United States with 153 points. Ignacio Gunti is 10th for Italy with 147 points. 11th is Gunther Huber of Austria with 143 points. Toon Hesmans is 12th for the Netherlands with 136 points. And bottom of Group D, it is Ofna Rinder of Sweden with 114 points. So that's all 4 groups out of the way. Let's take a look at the overall standings before we head into the final and see who has been knocked out of the group stages before we find out who will be our drivers and our nation's champions. And that is the end of Group D, and going into the final, Joe Sifford, in a surprise turn of events, has taken the top spot with 299 points. Graham Hill is second with 283 points. Dan Gurley is third with 252 points. Joachim Rindt is fourth, and then completing the top 5 is Ludwig Scarfiotti, Dieter Spori, and Denny Hulme. Switzerland have a 39-point advantage at the top ahead of the United Kingdom. New Zealand have passed the United States for the top 3 positions. And let's take a look at the drivers that have made the final that have not made it in the top 24. And here are the drivers that are in the final that did make the top 24. I'm surprised to see that we have got Rob Slotmaker down in 29th position, tying with Jean-Pierre Berthoud with 158 points each. Mario Andretti's had a bad group stage run, joined 31st with Frank Gardner and Carl von Wendt with 157 points. Graham Lawrence and Ben Pont are the last 2 drivers to make it into the final as they share 154 points apiece. And on to the drivers that have been eliminated. They will not be taking part in the final. Bobby Unser is eliminated with only 153 points, the same amount as Jochen Neerpatch of West Germany. John Cann also eliminated with 152 points. We've also got Clay Regazzoni has been eliminated with 143 points, along with Roger van der Schreek and Gunther Uber. So a few surprise upsets of who has not made the final. Al Unser also did not make the final with only 123 points. So with that interesting result, it's time to go to the final and we'll see who will be our 1968 drivers and nation's champions. And here we go, the 1968 Formula World Cup final. So we have our final 36. Before we get to the first race of the final, let's remind ourselves who's made through. Now, all 13 teams have got at least one driver made through, starting with Australia. They've got all 4 of the drivers through. They are 22nd, 24th, 28th and 31st going into this final. Then we've got Austria. They've got 2 drivers made through. They are 4th and 32nd respectively. And then we've got Belgium. They've got only 1 driver through, Jackie X, who's going into the final in 19th position. Then we've got Canada, they've got 3 drivers made through, they are 18th, 25th and 27th respectively. And next up we've got France, they've got all 4 of the drivers through, they are 15th, 16th, 21st and 30th respectively. And then we move over to Italy, they've only got 1 driver through with Ludwig Scarfiotti, who's going to the final in 5th place. Next up we've got the Netherlands, they've got 3 drivers made through, they're 8th, 29th and 35th respectively going into this final. Then up we got New Zealand, they've got all 4 of their drivers through, they are 7th, 10th, 12th and 36th respectively. And then we've got Sweden, they've only got 2 drivers made through, they are 14th and 17th going into the final. Next up we've got Switzerland, they've got 3 drivers made through, they are 1st, 6th and 11th respectively. And next up we've got the United Kingdom with all 4 of their drivers, they are 2nd, 9th, 20th and 23rd respectively. And then we've got the United States, they've only got 2 drivers made through, they are 3rd and 33rd respectively. And the final team is West Germany, they've got 3 drivers made through, they are 13th, 26th and 34th respectively. So that's all the teams, and that's all 36 drivers. Without further ado, let's get to the first race at Killarney in South Africa, and the race is going to be won by Dan Gurney. Graham Hill is 2nd, Denny Hulme is 3rd, Jackie X is 4th, 5th is Henry Pescarlo, Paul Hawkins 6th, Jean-Pierre Berthoud 7th, 8th is George Fisher, John 30 is 9th, and Bill Brack runs the top 10. We got G. Van Lennep 35th, Dieter Spori 33rd, Ludwig Scarfield 25th, Jochen Ridge 24th, Joe Siffer is 14th place. And who's number 10 again? Where's the number 10? Oh, Chris Amon, 15th. So going over to race number 2, at 24 Hours Daytona, Brian Muir takes the win with Frank Gardner in 2nd, so in Austria 1-2. Joe Siffert is 3rd, Graham Lawrence is 4th, 5th is John 30th, Jim Clark 6th, Marion Andretti 7th, Rico 8th, Denny Hulme 9th, and Ben Pond rounding off your top 10. Chris Allen 35th, Joe Conrent is 34th, Lavica Scarfield is 32nd, Dieter Spori 31st, Jackie Stewart 26th, G Van Lep is 22nd, Dan Gurney 18th, and Graham Hill in 15th place. Going to race number 3 at the 12 Hour Sebring, and Joe Siffert takes the win with Joe Schleifer 2nd, Denny Hulme is 3rd, Dan Gurney 4th, George Fescher is 5th, Dieter Spori 6th, Brian Muir 7th, Hubert Haynes is 8th, Bill Brack 9th, and Paul Hawkins rounding off your top 10. As we've got Lavica Scarfield 29th, Jackie Stewart 26th, Chris Alon 22nd, Graham Hill is 20th, Joe Conrent 17th, G Van Lep is 16th place. And to play the first quarter of the final, the 1000 clause of Monza, Jackie X wins for Belgium, Graham Hill is 2nd, Joe Siffert is 3rd, Denny Hulme is 4th, Hubert Haynes 5th, Lavica Scarfield 6th, Dan Gurry 7th, Jackie Stewart 8th, Paul Hawkins 9th, and Rico rounding off your top 10. As we've got Joe Conrent 34th, Dieter Spori 30th, we've got Chris Allen 24th, G Van Lennep in 15th place. So after 4 races leading the way, it is Joe Siffert with 59 points, Denny Hulme is 2nd with 52 points, Dan Gurney started with 47 points, 4th Graham Hill with 41 points, Brian Muir rounding off the top 5 with 38 points, as we've got Bruce McLaren at the bottom at the moment with -6 points, Joe Conrent and Johnny Gavin with -4 apiece. So moving on to race number 5, the Targa Floor, which we won by Dan Gurney, with Denny Hulme is 2nd for New Zealand, Hubert Haynes is 3rd, Joe Schleifer is 4th, Marion Andretti is 5th, Graham Hill 6th, Frank Gardner is 7th, Jackie Stewart 8th, Joe Conrent is 9th, and Bruce McLaren ring off your top 10, as we got Lavica Scarfield in 33rd, Dieter Spori 31st, Chris Allen 28th, G Van Lep is 24th, Joe Siffert is 21st, and with Chris Allen 28th. Going on to race number 6, at the 1000 clause of the Nürburgring, Denny Hulme takes the win, Joe Siffert is 2nd, Kurt Ahrens Jr. is 3rd, Joe Conrent is 4th, Marion Andretti 5th, Graham Lawrence is 6th, John is 30th is 7th, Jim Clark takes 8th, Carl van Vent is 9th for Austria, Dieter Spori rounds the top 10 for Switzerland, G Van Lep is 34th, Graham Hill is 32nd, Dan Gurney is 27th, Chris Allen 26th, Lavica Scarfield is 18th, and Jackie Stewart is 13th. Race number 7, we go to Monaco. Rico takes the win for Switzerland. His teammate Joe Simmons is 2nd for Switzerland. Rob Saltmaker is 3rd for the Netherlands. Jackie X is 4th. Denny Hulme is 5th. Jean-Pierre Beltois is 6th. Bill Brack 7th. Johnny Gavin is 8th. Joe Conrent 9th. And Bruce McLaren running off your top 10. So we got Lavica Scarfield 33rd. Graham Hill is 32nd. Chris Amon is 30th. We've got Jackie Stewart in 21st, Dieter Spori is 18th, G Van Lep is 13th, and Dan Gurney is in 12th. And to play the first half of the final, we go to the 1000 clause of Spa-Francorchamps, and Carl van Vent takes the win for Austria, Alpine is 7th for Canada, Denny Hulme is 3rd for New Zealand, Henry Pescarolo is 4th, Jackie X is 5th, Chris Amon is 6th, Graham Lawrence is 7th, Brian Muir 8th, Pecco Troberg 9th, and Graham Hill rounding off your top 10. We got Lavica Scarfield 32nd, G Van Lep is 30th, Jackie Stewart 27th, Joe Siffert 22nd, Dan Gurry 21st, and Joe Conrent is 15th, and Dieter Spori in 12th place. Oh, Joe Siffert is 22nd. So we're halfway into the final, looking at the standings, leading the way. It is now Denny Hulme with 124 points, Joe Siffert is 2nd with 99 points, Dan Gurry 3rd with 76 points, Graham Hill 4th with 57 points, and around the top 5 is Jackie X with 51 points, and towards the bottom of the board we've got G Van Lep of the Netherlands sitting on -1 point. And now going over to race number 9, start the second half At the Indy 500, Chris Amon wins for New Zealand, Ludovico Scarfiotti 7th for Italy, Carl van Vent 3rd for Austria, Paul Hawkins 4th for Australia, Joachim Rindt is 5th, Frank Gardner 6th, Brian Muir is 7th for Australia, Joey Saragavin is 8th, Mario Andretti 9th, and G Van Lep rounding off your top 10. We have got Joe Sifford 31st, Denny Hume 27th, Dan Gurry 26th, Data Sport 25th, Jackie Stewart is 24th, Graham Hill is in 16th place. And going over to race number 10, we go to Zandvoort, the Netherlands, and Denny Hume takes another win. Jim Clark takes 2nd. Graham Lawrence is 3rd, so a double podium for New Zealand. Ludovico Scarfiotti is 4th for Italy. Data Sport is 5th. Joseph is 6th. Joachim Rindt is 7th. Graham Hill is 8th. 9th is Mario Andretti. And Joe Bonnier running off the top 10 for Sweden. Chris Elon is 35th. G Van Lep is 32nd. We've got Jackie Stewart 18th. Dan Gurry in 17th position. And then going over to race number 11, Chris Elon is 35th. Race number 11 at Pikes Peak, and Denny Hume wins again. Joe Sifford takes 2nd. Al Pease is 3rd. Rob Slowmaker is 4th. Bruce McLaren 5th. Carl von Vent is 6th. Dan Gurry 7th. Joachim Rindt is 8th. Data Sport 9th. And Rico round for top 10. Ludovico Scarfiotti is 33rd. Jackie Stewart 26th. G Van Lep is 24th. Chris Elon 20th. And Graham Hill in 11th. And to complete the third quarter of the final, we go to France and Rouen Le Third, and Georges Fescher takes the win for Canada. Joe Sifford is 2nd, Jim Clark is 3rd, Graham Hill is 4th, 5th is Joachim Rindt, Denny Hume is 6th, Kurt Ahrens Jr. is 7th, Johnny Saragavin is 8th, Rico is 9th, and Frank Gardner rounding off your top 10. Dieter Spori is 31st, Chris Elon is 30th, Ludovico Scarfiotti 28th, Dan Gurry 15th, Jackie Stewart 14th, and G Van Lep is 13th. With 4 races left to go, it is Denny Hume leading the way with 184 points, Joe Sifford is 2nd with 149 points, Dan Gurry 3rd with 86 points, 4th is Graham Hill with 83 points, and around the top 5 is Joachim Rindt with 63 points. With driver at the bottom of the board is currently Jack Brabham sitting on 3 points. Going over to race number 13, 6 hours Watkins Glen, Denny Hume takes the win for New Zealand, Pico Troberg is 2nd for Sweden, Mario Andretti 3rd for the United States, Dan Gurry is 4th, Joachim Rindt is 5th, Joe Sifford is 6th, Dieter Sport is 7th, G Van Lep is 8th, Al Pease is 9th, and Rico running off your top 10. We have got Chris Elon is 28th, Jackie Stewart 21st, Graham Hill is 20th, Ludovico Scarfiotti is in 18th place. And going over to race number 14, we go to the United Kingdom Brands Hatch. Jim Clark takes the win in his home race. Joe Sifford is 2nd. Graham Hill is 3rd. Dan Gurry takes 4th. Joachim Rindt is 5th. Jackie X is 6th. Henry Pascal is 7th. Rob Saltmaker 8th. 9th is Dieter Spori. And Jean-Pierre Beltois rounding off your top 10. Jackie Stewart is 35th. And Ludovico Scarfiotti 23rd. G Van Lep is 21st. Chris Elon 19th. And Denny Hume in 12th place. The penultimate race, race 15, at West Germany, the Nürburgring. Joachim Rindt wins for Austria. Jackie Stewart is 2nd. Hubert Hayne is 3rd. Joe Sifford takes 4th. Denny Hume is 5th. 6th is Carl von Vent. Mario Andretti 7th. Chris Elon is 8th. 9th is Henry Pascalo. And Jean-Pierre Beltois running off your top 10. G Van Lep is 35th. Dieter Sport is 31st. Ludovico Scarfiotti 26th. And Graham Hill is 12th, and Dan Gurry in 11th place. And going to the 16th and final round of the season, we go to Monza in Italy. Hubert Hayne takes the win for West Germany. Joe Sifford is 7th for Switzerland. Graham Hill takes 3rd. Mario Andretti is 4th. Joachim Rindt is 5th. G Van Lep is 6th. Jackie Stewart is 7th. Pico Troberg is 8th. Rob Saltmaker 9th. And Ludovico Scarfiotti running off your top 10. And we have got Dieter Spori in 28th, Denny Hume 18th, Dan Gurry 17th, and Chris Amon in 12th. And the person with the most points in this file, that is Denny Hume with 224 points. Joe Sifford is 2nd with 212 points. In third is Joachim Rindt with 221 points. Graham Hill 4th with 119 points. Dan Gurry is 5th with 117 points. Hubert Hayne is 6th for West Germany is 81 points, one more than Jim Clark in 7th, 80. Marigetti takes 8th with 79 points. Carl von Wendt is 9th with 75 points. And round the top 10, it is Jackie Stewart with 60 points. Al Pease is 11th for Canada with 59 points. Tying for 12th is Rico and Jackie X for Switzerland and Belgium with 58 points each. Dieter Sport takes 14th with 53 points. 15th is Frank Gardner with 49 points. 16th, Graham Lawrence with 47 points. Then a three-way tie for 17th, Ludovico Scarfiotti, Henry Pascalo, and Brent Muir for Italy, France, and Australia with 46 points each. With Rob Saltmaker round the top 20 for the Netherlands with 45 points. Paul Hawkins 21st for Australia with 44 points. Pico Troberg 22nd with 43 points. The tie for 23rd between George Fisher and Chris Amon of Canada and New Zealand with 42 points each. Joe Schleiter is 25th for France with 38 points. 26th, Johnny Servo-Gavin is 29 points. 27th is Jean-Pierre Beltois with 25 points. Gilles Van Lip takes 28th with 23 points. 29th is Ross Stonen for West Germany with 20 points. Round the top 30 is Kurt Evans Jr. for West Germany with 19 points. Tied for 31st is Ben Pon and John 30th of the Netherlands and the United Kingdom with 18 points each. 33rd is Bruce McLaren 17 points. 34th is Bill Brack for Canada with 16 points. Joe Bonnier is 35th for Sweden with 7 points. And Jack Brown is 36th for Australia with 4 points. So with the final out of the way, for the final time, let's take a look at the standings, see who is the drivers and the nation's champions. And that is the final conclude, and what a massive upset victory this is. Joe Siffert has won the Drivers' Championship, meaning we have our first Swiss Drivers' Champion, and also Switzerland, for the first time in the Formula 1 World Cup history, is a nation's champion, beating the defending champions, the United Kingdom, for the top spot. In the Drivers' Championship, Danny Hulme, an impressive second place for New Zealand. Graham Hill had himself a third place. United Kingdom will be absolutely devastated that they did not collect their 10th nation's title. New Zealand, an amazing performance to finish in third ahead of the United States. And let's take a quick look at the drivers that did not make it, the top 24. And here are the drivers that did make the top 24. Rob Saltmaker, the highest placed driver with 203 points, the same amount of points as Paul Hawkins got in joint 24th. We got Bruce McLaren only getting 17 points in the final to be tying with his teammate Graham Lawrence. Joe Bonnier, 7 points in the final, only putting him in 29th position. And Jack Brown at the bottom of the board, 36th position, only scoring 4 points in the final. So we have our first Swiss Drivers' Champion, first Swiss Nations Champion. Going into the 1969 season, can Joe Siffert defend his title? Can Switzerland defend the title? Or will the United Kingdom be able to swoop back in and take home their 10th title? Well, I'll see you over for the 1969 season to find out.